Everything feels more expensive in 2026, and if you're like most people, you've probably noticed it every time you fill your cart at the grocery store, pay your rent, or check your utility bills. Even small purchases that used to feel routine now seem to cost more, and it can leave you wondering, why does it all feel so heavy on the wallet? The answer is not simple because it is not caused by a single factor. Instead, it's the result of multiple forces converging at the same time, creating a financial environment that is more expensive, more complex, and more unpredictable than it has been for decades. Let's start with inflation. Over the past few years, prices for nearly everything from food to energy to healthcare have risen faster than wages for many households. Even if the official inflation rate slows down, it doesn't mean prices go back down. Once a cost rises, it rarely returns to previous levels because businesses adjust permanently to higher operating expenses. This is why a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, or even a haircut can feel noticeably more expensive than it did a few years ago. Housing is a major driver of this perception. In many cities and suburbs, home prices have climbed to unprecedented levels, while mortgage rates remain higher than the ultra-low rates seen in the early 2020s. Rent has also increased steadily, squeezing household budgets even further. For many families, housing costs are the single largest monthly expense, and higher interest rates make buying or refinancing a home more difficult. This financial pressure spreads into every other part of life because when so much income goes toward housing, there's less available for groceries, entertainment, or savings. Interest rates themselves play a huge role. After years of historically cheap borrowing, the Federal Reserve raised rates to fight inflation. While this is a standard economic tool, it has the side effect of making loans, credit cards, and financing significantly more expensive. Car payments, student loans, and personal lines of credit all cost more to maintain. Even small increases in monthly payments can add up over time, leaving households feeling squeezed. Another contributing factor is the global supply chain. Recent disruptions, energy price fluctuations, and ongoing geopolitical tensions have increased the cost of transporting goods. Companies often pass these costs on to consumers, which affects everything from electronics to furniture to clothing. Even products that don't seem directly tied to international trade can be more expensive because the materials, shipping, or production costs have risen upstream. Wages and income trends also matter. While some sectors have seen modest wage growth, for many people paychecks haven't kept pace with rising living costs. Even when a raise occurs, it often fails to cover the cumulative increases in housing, food, and healthcare. That mismatch between income and expenses creates a feeling of stagnation, as if no matter how hard you work, life keeps getting more expensive. Healthcare is another area where costs continue to rise. Premiums, prescription drugs, and routine care have increased steadily, creating a financial burden that many households cannot avoid. For families with ongoing medical needs, this can take a significant portion of monthly income, further amplifying the sense that life is more expensive. Transportation costs have also contributed to the problem. Gas prices fluctuate more dramatically than before, and higher interest rates have increased auto financing costs. Public transportation, parking, and ride-share expenses have also risen in many cities, adding another layer of financial pressure. Demographics and shifting consumer behavior play a subtler but important role. Aging populations increase demand for healthcare, retirement services, and housing suited to older adults. Younger generations, on the other hand, often enter the workforce with student debt and face high entry-level housing costs. These overlapping demands put pressure on markets and contribute to higher prices across multiple sectors. Technology and automation are reshaping the economy as well. While automation can make production more efficient, it can also eliminate certain job types or suppress wage growth in some sectors. Meanwhile, staying competitive often requires purchasing new technology, software, or devices, which adds to personal expenses. Finally, perception plays a critical role. Social media and advertising often highlight high-end lifestyles, making ordinary financial challenges feel more intense. When everyone online appears to be thriving, it can make the real cost of living feel heavier because people compare themselves to curated lifestyles rather than realistic averages. So why does everything feel more expensive in 2026? The answer is that multiple economic, social, and structural forces are converging simultaneously. Inflation, housing pressures, high interest rates, supply chain issues, healthcare costs, demographic shifts, and technological changes are all interacting, creating a financial environment that challenges households every day. It's not a temporary blip or a minor inconvenience, it's a structural shift that requires adaptation, planning, and awareness. Understanding these forces is the first step toward managing your finances effectively, making informed decisions, and navigating a world where the cost of living is higher, more complex, and increasingly unavoidable.